When I just came to the United States, I didn't expect my job search process to go smoothly, but I definitely did not expect it to go this way. I came a fresh graduate, majored in linguistics, had some teaching experience, and also I was curious about web development, and I also hoped to actually go that way, to become a software developer, as if one major change in life moving wasn't enough for me at that time. It took me probably 8 months to land my first job, and I got rejected around 200 times. Yes, I counted. And in this video, I wanted to summarize my experience and share with you all the learnings that I had on this journey of searching for my first full-time employment here in the US, meanwhile transitioning into a different field and getting rejected more than 200 times. My key learning was that you shouldn't take rejections personally. I know everyone says so, and it's easier said than done. When I started applying for jobs, I was getting rejections pretty much every day. And every rejection hurt, even if it was a rejection for a position I wasn't as excited about. And pretty much every rejection made me feel miserable, useless, and like no one would ever hire me. At some point, it became a blocker because I didn't want to apply for jobs anymore, but how are you gonna get one if you don't apply, right? And this is when I decided to desensitize myself. I decided to do the opposite, to apply to as many positions as I could with the intention to get as many rejections as I could. Because when something happens every day, it kind of becomes your routine and you get used to it. And also I started counting all the applications and all the rejections, and it also helped me to just get into this routine and treat it more routinely and not to get too emotional about being rejected. Also, you don't really have to be a 100% perfect match for a job to apply. I was trying to apply to only those positions I felt like I am at least 90 or 100% a good fit, and when I read some studies, it turned out that it is normal to apply if you are 60 or 70% fit for this position, you know, in terms of skills and responsibilities. I just wanted to say that to make sure you're not trying to avoid certain job applications only because you feel like you're not great for it. The best way is to apply and see how it goes. Job search is a numbers game. When you apply, let's say, to 27 positions, it's insane to expect that all of them are gonna invite you for a screening call. It is normal to expect maybe 30% of yeses, like you're gonna get 8 screening calls out of 27 applications. And then maybe only 50% of those screening calls are gonna turn into interview processes, so 4. And then it is normal not to expect everyone to give you an offer. It's maybe gonna be 3 or 2 offers, and if 3, it's 75%. And understanding that this is kind of, you know, this triangle where there are a lot of applications, but it comes down to a small percentage of the offer out of all the applications that you sent out. It was also something that made me think about the whole process more routinely without getting too emotional, because you know that you're supposed to get some amount of rejections. And especially if you are a new person in the country, or if you're just a fresh graduate without a lot of experience. At some point I felt really miserable, and I decided to learn a little bit more about job search process in general, how to make it more efficient, and how to finally get some interviews. In simpler terms, I just wanted to have a more guided and also at the same time organized approach to looking for a job. This is when I joined a career club, which was basically 3 things: courses, you know, on different career related topics. And for me, I was mostly interested in how to organize your job search, how to create your resume, or how to prepare for interviews. Also, in the club, there were networking events so you could meet people, and career coaches who would give you feedback or maybe even guide you. to help you with whatever career goal that you came with. In that club, I did a couple of things. I analyzed what I wanted to do, what I already could do for the desired position, and I analyzed the market to see some patterns or maybe technologies, skills that are in high demand. All of this helped me to create a selling resume, as they call it, targeted to a particular position, and I also got a chance to have it reviewed. So if you have anyone in the field, or maybe a recruiter, an HR person who's your friend, ask them for the help, because it is very useful when someone with fresh eyes reviews your resume and can point out a couple of things to improve. By the end of my time in that club, I kind of had a very specific plan of action. I knew what the next step was going to be, how to apply, where to apply, how to ask for help from my network, how to network, how to ask some common questions, some behavioral questions. So I had this structure, and this structure made it easier for me to overcome my fear of being rejected and that kind of things. I found it super helpful. Learning how to present yourself can be super helpful for you, and especially if you are new to the field, transitioning from a different field, or if you just graduated and don't have a lot of experience. Because, well, this can help you to create a resume that highlights your experiences, even if these are not from the field that you are looking for a job in. And also it can help you to organize your thoughts when preparing answers to some common interview questions. And here's a tip: if you're not a native English speaker, I would highly recommend you Google some very commonly asked questions during the interview and think about the answers beforehand, and maybe even write them down. I found it super helpful to come up with vocabulary and research vocabulary early on to make sure that my answer is professional and feels 100% like me. Interviewing is a two-way process. I didn't think about it this way at the beginning. I felt really not in the place to be deciding things. I just wanted to get any job that I could, and I realized that this is not a good approach, even if you're new to the field, if you don't have a traditional background and that kind of stuff. Interview being a two-way street means that while you're interviewing, the company evaluates you, you should also be evaluating this company to see if this company is a good fit for you. So you should do your research. For instance, you can look up that company on Glassdoor to see what's their rating, to see the reviews by the employees, and also prepare questions about the company beforehand, and also tailor all your questions to the person you're going to be interviewed by. So questions that you're going to ask your hiring manager maybe are not the same as your peer who's gonna interview you as well. So I'd say do your research and prepare questions beforehand. And again, for non-native English speakers, this can also be super helpful in terms of vocabulary. You can look up the necessary vocabulary beforehand. What was the advice in the video that you resonated with the most? Share under this video in the comment section. And well, if you have any other thoughts, or maybe you want to share with us what you learned from this video and want to apply to your job search strategy, feel free to share with us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. Good luck to you, and I'll see you later.